For those of you who followed my channel, you'll know how much time I've spent dealing with vibrations when doing video or photography in the air. So about a year ago, I started using this Top Flite magnetic balancer. And in this video, I wanted to talk about why I've made the decision to switch to this Dubro Tru-Spin prop balancer. Now, these are probably two of the more popular prop balancers, definitely for the electric RC guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the differences that I've found between the two. Let me start with the Top Flite magnetic balancer, just because it's the one I've been using over the past year. Normally you put these cones end to end like that, but in this case, just for a smaller prop, you want to put them just like that. Okay, one of the first things I discovered with this guy, it's pretty flimsy, so it's real easy for these arms to kind of get out of alignment. So you can see they just kind of sit there. So you want to make sure to have those perfectly aligned so that when you put your rod and prop in between, that lines up nicely. Now what I've done is I've intentionally made this side over here lighter. I've gone ahead and shaved some of the prop off the back side. And so now with this shaved side, the lighter side here, I'm going to go ahead and let go. And you'll see that that rises to the top while the heavier side falls to the bottom. So that works as expected. But let me show you one of my biggest complaints that really had me spending a lot of time trying to balance, shave weight, balance, shave weight, go back and forth several times and never really get the results that I was expecting. And what you'll notice as I spin it, let me just spin a little bit forward and try to be really gentle with it, and I'm going to let go. You can see that it falls. It's almost like it's, weighted on one side, or something with the magnetic field is pulling it in that direction. So that was a source of a lot of frustration for me as I got a prop on there. Never seemed to get it just right. That definitely caused a lot of problems for me. And that really forced me to look at my options. And so after doing a little bit of research and just tremendous feedback from you guys, a lot of comments, even when I did the original build video for this Top Flite, you guys were like, you got to try the Tru-Spin. So here we are with the Tru-Spin. For starters, this thing is super durable. These posts are well mounted, and this thing isn't going to go anywhere. You're not going to have any sort of issue with these things getting out of alignment like you did with the Top Flite. Now the big deal here, because this is adjustable for different size props, you definitely want to make sure that both sides of this balancer are at the same height. So I recommend getting something. In my case, I'm just using a Post-it, a sticky pad, and just setting it in there, tighten down. Probably actually want a piece of wood or metal, something that doesn't have any flex in it. And now those should be pretty close to even height-wise. Let me show you how the balancing rod works. Just a little washer that holds this into place with a spring. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. And then we'll slide our prop right on. Put the spring back on. Put a little bit of tension on there. Put this on. This is the side I took some weight off of. I'm going to just put it in there. You can let go. And we should see that rise to the top and the heavy side fall to the bottom. So let me go ahead and balance this out. I'm going to take the other side and just take a little bit of weight off of there, and we'll try to get this thing nice and balanced so that we can run a test. So let me put this back on. Looks like we need to take a little bit more off that side. Took a little bit off and put it back on. Looks pretty good. It's also recommended to flip this over and do a balance from the other side. And if that does fall out of balance, what it tells you is that you have some work to do with your prop hub. Let's go ahead and put this same prop with no adjustments on the Top Flite. And you can see that it just spins around a little bit. Now, I don't know if that's because of that issue I showed you earlier where the rod was falling out of place. Now, I'm not saying this isn't a good balancer. It's worked well for me for a year, but I started to lose confidence with it over time. So this Dubro Tru-Spin is definitely the one that I'm going to be using from here on out. So I'll put links to both this Top Flite and the Dubro Tru-Spin below. but I'm definitely liking this so far and have a lot of confidence now when I'm balancing my props. If you have any comments or suggestions, questions, please feel free to post them below. And until next time, thanks for watching.